welcome to another thrilling and exciting episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am KozMcKev, your host, and this is for the week beginning October 18th, 2019, going all the way through the 24th of October. So what happens this week? Well, the sun goes into the tropical sign of Scorpio on the 23rd at 10:20 a.m.? It is 10:20 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So we will be out of Libra into Scorpio, the Western Zodiac. Go out and look at the stars in the actual constellations. What you're seeing there is closer to Vedic sidereal astrology, not the Western astrology that people are all hyped about and go by their sun sign and go, oh, I'm a Cancer. And it's like, when you're born. Oh, it was June 24th. No, you're not. No. But hey, we're learning here, and this is all about the learning, and most of you know about this Western astrology. It all works, it still works, but Western astrology operates on a psychological level, I've heard. For everything else, there's Vedic astrology. So, today, in the sidereal zodiac, we would find the moon in the constellation of Taurus, just about going into Gemini. And the lunar mansion, or nakshatra, that was associated with that part of the sky is known as Mrigashira. And Mrigashira is a crazy story about this young woman, this bride or whatever, the father was lusting after her. So, basically God turned her into a doe to run away, and then the father turned himself into a stag to chase her, and then God snipped off the stag's head and left it in the sky to avoid cosmic incest. And so that's the story of Mrigashira. Mrigashira is ruled by Mars. Mrigashira is half in the constellation of Taurus, half in the constellation of Gemini. Moon is in Gemini, in both systems today, because we're in the last 24 degrees of Gemini. See how this works? And by tomorrow in the tropical zodiac, at 3:43 a.m., the moon goes into Cancer. Okay, but in the sidereal zodiac, it'll be in the constellation of Gemini still. So yeah, so just so you know that. So most of the weekend will be Cancer moon, and in the tropical zodiac. And so it's an interesting time. And there's no real major planetary shifts besides the sun going into Scorpio this week. So we're dealing with fairly similar energy to what we had last week. So here we go, sign by sign, beginning with you, Aries. So greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. Mars and Libra, and in your 7th house. So there's a focus on relationship, and there's a need to be diplomatic. Now, in Western tropical astrology, sometimes they call the 7th house the house of open enemies. In the sidereal Vedic zodiac, they call it a maraka. It could be a house of death. They could kill you. 2nd house, 7th house. Weird, huh? And it is kind of like, this is where the sunset is, This is where things are going down. They're going down, It takes a while to adjust to the night. And we've got Mercury and Venus in the 8th house, kind of like lusty thoughts, and thoughts about the occult and death and mysteries and secret societies and stuff. And did Harvey Weinstein end up getting snuck out by his friends and got a face job and is living in Mexico? We don't know. Okay, we don't know. He probably didn't commit suicide. He probably got murdered if he did. Whatever, that probably. But yeah. I know the body doesn't. I know it's all weird out there, but they've taken him off the radar. He's one of those special people of interest. We've got Jupiter in the 9th house. We've got Pluto, Saturn, and the South Node in your midheaven. So it's like, there's career pressures. And this weekend, it's just like a little bit of fun, and then it's like staying at home, doing homework. Maybe you're winterizing your house, because Winter's coming. You got to get, the plastic sheeting over the windows or whatever it is you do where you live to make things warmer. Cut wood. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So, what do we got going on here? Well, we've got Venus over in your seventh house with Mercury. So you're a sweet talker, lover right now. People want you, they desire you, and it's a very Venus-y time, right now. Especially now that we've got, we're in the sidereal sign of Libra too. It's like, whoa, moving with love and attraction. Jupiter in your 8th house, and then Saturn, Pluto, and South Node in the 9th. It's like learning the spiritual benefit of our suffering, learning the spiritual benefit of our difficulties. I mean, this is a really good time. If you want to get into like Buddhist philosophy, this is a really good time for a Taurus to get into Buddhist philosophy, because the whole nature of suffering. I mean, one thing about the Buddha, the whole Siddhartha story, is like this guy abandoned his wife and his kid. Some reason it is not cool. It's just, there's something, but he was a privileged prince and he had plenty of money and everyone got taken care of. Yeah, whatever. Go F yourself now. I guess that's what they say. If you see the Buddha going down the road, kill him. I guess. Oh boy. The Adventures of Siddhartha, killed by his ex-wife and his next life. I don't know. It's just, well, anyhow, so Taurus, there's surprises, especially if you're born in the first 10 degrees of Taurus. Other than that, though, I'd say the real thing is working on your relationships and working on your career and public image, working on your education, getting yourself ready for that next step. Because you're going to be, when we get further into 2020, career is going to mean a lot more, and how you're going to establish yourself is about to mean a lot more. So this is a real prep time for you in all your relationships, and you want them to be good. Okay. Well. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. Okay. So what's up with you? Remember I told you last week, we've got Mercury retrograde starting on Halloween. So, this is the last free and clear week. Free and, well, next week will be mostly free and clear, but, how do we work with this? So the shift is, the sun's going to shift over out of your 5th house, which has been a lot of fun. It's been hard opening, to the 6th house, which is hard work, and it's taking care of your health. And, and here in Northern California, I mean, the weather has been on flip-flop level. I mean, we're, like, one day was like 100 degrees, and another day is like 40, and, you're just kind of going, oh my God, what's going on here? And, you don't know whether to break out the mittens or the swimsuit. And, but you still have a lot of energy to do creative things, and I think working in groups with other people, cooperating with them on a group project can be really healing and satisfying. Overall, relationships are good. I mean, there's some really hard, deep, dark stuff that we've all been going through, and really, Pluto with the South Node and Saturn there all together has been a part of a major, deep collective crisis. Lots of people have died. Lots of people have lost stuff. There's been great losses in the last year. And, we're just kind of crawling through our grief, trying to get to that next place somehow. All right. So, greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, I mean, the weekend looks really great for you. I mean, like both Saturday and Sunday, Moon's going to be in Cancer. I think it's going to be a fun, social weekend. I am going to enjoy myself. I think you are. I think you are the flavor this weekend. But there's a little bit of tension, from all that Libra stuff. Especially if you're probably a later born Cancer. How to negotiate things that are going on with your parents, with your home life, and giving yourself. But you have a lot of creative juice. Venus and Mercury in the fifth house. You're having fun with your kids. You're having fun with life. It's a good time for travel. It's a good time to get educated in a new way. It's a good time to embark on another experience. And you're trying to make your health better right now. And that might require discipline from overindulging. You might be really hungry and want to eat a lot. It's a typical winter thing. And relationships have been rough. Relationships have been challenging, and you are part of that challenge. And something wonderful is going to happen. And you're gonna experience some of that wonder. And I think that's it. That's all you need to know. And Sun moving into Scorpio is going to make everything happy for Cancer. It's like, ooh, I'm in a happy place. I'm feeling good. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. And so like the Sun moving into Scorpio this week, that's a big deal. And because Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Mars is sort of like the executive's right-hand man. And so Scorpio does things for Leo, even though it's water and fire, and, water can put out the Leo fire or whatever. Overall, it's coming from a deeper, less superficial, surfacey place. And things like Leo always looking at the big picture, there's a lot of deep stuff that gets ignored. So it really needs Scorpio. Scorpio really helps, and Scorpio has a lot of creative resources. So when Leo's trying to put on that big show, Scorpio's going to like, hey, well, we could do this. I'm like, really? Wow, I never thought of that, Yeah, let's give them a run for their money, And of course, with Halloween coming up, put it into the horror show mode. But, we've got, you're working with siblings. Mars is actually exalted in the third house. So, Mars is working really well for you at this time. So there's kind of like a special thing happening. Fixed assets, though, this would be a good time to sell a car if you needed to sell a car or something to get money, or, you're selling a house. That would probably work out for you, Leo. And you definitely got to keep working on your health issues. And, your desire to be isolated and away from others in some ways, is more exaggerated with this nodal aspect. It's kind of a lay low weekend for you. But, Moon will be in Leo on Monday, so Monday, Tuesday, you'll be on top of your game again, maybe even on Wednesday. You might even be feeling it on part of Wednesday, just the morning. Okay, now we go to Virgo. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope. So, Virgo's doing good in almost every way. You're trying to bring it up and build it, and so there's been some economic blessings, and that could continue on for you, especially if you're working in art or the communication arts. That's going to continue to go forward. You're going to get the Sun joining up. Not exactly on top of each other, but with Mercury and Venus, and so there's a sort of wonderful thing coming on. And, with siblings and friends. Your foundation's good with Jupiter in the fourth house. And you're learning to be creative about what your limits and difficulties are. The South Node, Saturn, Pluto. Getting insights in your children. Seeing hope in that. Seeking spiritual relationships that are uplifting and are going to create good karma. And the weekend looks very social for Virgo, Virgo rising, Virgo moon. This is where you're going to meet people, good people, have good times. It's going to be fun. Yes, indeed. You're going to have fun. Well, hello, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. This weekend will be different than last weekend. Last weekend was a little intense with the full moon, but it was sort of romantic, too. And this weekend's more about showing your talents and skills. This is where your abilities are seen, and you're really needed right now. And so people like seeing you, and you can do something kind of fun and unconventional. And you're a sweet talker. You've got that. Your relationship with your family improves a little bit this week. even with siblings, even though there's been hard stuff. Things are, things that were crystallizing are going to break up. The issues will be addressed. You got to take care of your health. You got to make yourself feel better in every way, and you will. I mean, eventually you will. I see you having a better social life on Monday and Tuesday, actually, than this weekend. I mean, you're responsible. You're taking care of your responsibilities, and your abilities are shining. Okay, so greetings, Scorpio. Let's take a drink of water for the water sign. So what's going on with you? Well, I mean, the sun is moving into your first house. So I mean that whole karma season of, loss and dealing with your subconscious and your dreams and just, being part of your undoing, well, that all chills out. Okay, that chills out right now. And you do really good. And you're getting much more aware of what your power is. And both mentally and financially and in your love life, all of that is like getting better. And you're about to become the flavor of the month as of Wednesday, 10:20 a.m. Sun moves into Scorpio. Now here in Chico, California, this is usually where the weather turns cold, almost like instantly. It's like goes from hot to cold, almost like this week is usually when it happens. So it'll be interesting if that happens. Not really sure. It might be a couple days still, but we've got a lot of energy in those first three houses. First, second, third house. Second house is good. It's bringing you money. It's bringing resources. Third house, a lot of turmoil in neighborhood and among siblings, but some of this is starting to get resolved and get better. And we've got a real emphasis on making some kind of spiritual art project. Remind you, that means you, KozMcKev, you gotta work on your nakshatra pictures. Get your nakshatra book going so that people know what's going on with the lunar mansions. And then in relationship, there's a lot of surprises, especially if you're an earlier Scorpio, like an October Scorpio. Things are much more unpredictable in relationships right now. Kind of funny, but don't worry, you other Scorpios, it'll come eventually. Eventually, by the end of the year, next few years, you're going to have all kinds of wild fun and adventures. It's going to be a wild ride, Scorpio. Not that you aren't a wild ride already. I get that. And weekend looks good. Good for travel, good for socializing, good for deeper stuff. Well, hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, what do I got going on for you? Well, it's like your faith and being visionary. Some of that visionary faith has to be in your personal life. And this is like your social life has been activated, but by Wednesday, Sun moves in your 12th house, and it's kind of like, hey, for the next month, let's think about laying low. Let's think about not stirring things up too much. Just kind of work with what's in front of you. Getting out of debt. It's one of the best karmic medicines you can do while you're going through a 12th house transit. So Sagittarius is working on getting out of debt. That's really smart. Let's see, what else? Well, I mean, the weekend's going to be kind of intense. I mean, by the time Monday rolls around, Monday and Tuesday should be really good days for you, especially Tuesday. That you'll feel a breath of good fortune as you're going through things. And this is also, we got to realize it's a waning moon period. Things are kind of winding down from last weekend. And it's just kind of finish up the projects that are in front of you. Just keep working on them. Remind yourself that's what you got to do. Right, Capricorn? Greetings, Capricorn. And yes, indeed. Welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on your shoulders there right now. So for Capricorn, you're climbing the big mountain. You're dealing with real limits. And you're also dealing with past life karma. And you're dealing with insights, how we can change everything and make it better. What to get rid of, what to keep. And seeing through the BS, and there's a lot of it. You know, I find it very interesting. You know, between the world, you know, there's, you know, you got conspiracy theories that are probably true, like Kennedy was probably not killed by Oswald. Okay, all right, you know, or you know, 9/11 had other things besides airplanes to do with it. You know, yeah, I think those ones are pretty safe to say. There's some legitimacy to those conspiracy theories. But then there's ones like flat Earth, and you're like, oh my God, please, no, 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 no. Man on the moon, I'm not sure. You know, I hear that is BS. You know that they didn't make it, and I've heard it's BS. They did. I don't know on that one. I don't know anything. You know, but I do know astrology, so this is what we're talking about. And you know, there's a lot of public pressure. There's a lot of karma on Sagittarius, and you know, I mean on Capricorn rather. And your Sun is moving into your 11th house this week, so you're going to meet better friends. Your social life's going to be sweet. You're going to have a lot of fun. You know, and the weekend looks romantic. You know, you could make some really good alliances this weekend. This could be just what the doctor ordered for you. And you've been waiting for this, right? Anxiously. Okay. Now we go to Aquarius. Step it up. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So, you know, Saturn's in the 12th house. So you're dealing with your karma. You're dealing with a lot of losses, basically. You're dealing with things that were beyond your control, maybe from past life. But you know what? We're just humans, and we're trying things out, and we don't always have good information, and we don't always do what our gut instinct tells us is right. And most of us, you know, because we're experimental people, we know, wonder what'll happen if I try this. And it's like, oh no. And then there's the people that don't ever try anything. They look about, I wouldn't have tried that if I were you. And they smugly said all smart, like, oh, told you so. You know, I can't stand those people. Except for when I'm one of them. Right. Oh, boy. Yeah, so here we go. Neptune in the second house. It's like a talisman, you know, like having a crystal, you know, some sage in your car, something that makes you feel good. Bunch of crystals, your favorite rock, your favorite old coin that was given to you from your great grandpapa, you know, things like that. Moon in Gemini, you know, today, Friday, feels good. It feels very creative and opening, but by tomorrow, it's like, it'd be really good to take care of some chores, maybe do some volunteer work, help with other people, participate in some kind of event. It's going to be uplifting. It's going to help you. And now we've got, let's see, we've got Sun moving into your midheaven. So, like, this is where your talents and skills are going to really show up. People are going to see the good work you've done. And that's going to be more active. And because you've got Mercury and Venus there, it's going to be great work. So you're capable of doing great things. And you've got Jupiter in the 11th house. You've got good friends and good people around you to help you. Maybe people a little older siblings even helping you. And even though there's some heavy karma you've been dealing with, it's, you know, it reminds me of this Grateful Dead song called Help on the Way. You know, help on the way. It's good, you know. It's good to have help. Everybody needs help. Okay, so now, finally, we get to Pisces. Greetings, Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope. So, you know, air signs in general, like Libra, are really hard on the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And why is that? Because air tends to dry up water. And what is evaporation? Evaporation is a cooling process. So you know, as a water sign, you're getting like cooled. You're getting chilled out by these intellectual, detached air signs and their air agenda. You know, this is Western astrology, and so it's like, oh, this doesn't feel as emotionally comfortable being here in this place. I'm wanting that comforty, juicy, nurturing that comes from water signs. And so it's like, okay, help on the way. You have a spiritual vision. You're a sensitive person. You like having that kind of deep, intimate sort of relationship. That is appealing to you. And you are inspired to keep doing creative things till you find out something that works for you. And you've got good fortune in your career and what you're doing because word is out. You're capable of good things. And people see that. And you've got friends in a kind of a social circle that's been kind of difficult. They might be critical of you. They might be, trying to discipline you and make you a better person somehow. Just keep it in the nonviolent and try and keep it in the positive. How can we make something positive out of this situation? And with the sun moving into Scorpio on Wednesday, I mean, this is your 9th house. So there's like this good fortune from this deep, dark 8th house place. Suddenly you're in this like shinier, there's a rainbow. Good things. I'm going to have an experience. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to get a little luckier. I'm going to make things get better in my life. And you've got the friendly planets of Mercury and Venus working there in the 9th house with you. It's like, no, it's time for a spiritual love that's high, and educated people that are culturally astute, and that's the kind of world I want to hang out with and be in. And I'm hoping that's what your world's like this weekend. And I am so grateful for you. Thank you for turning on this show. Thank you for telling other people about this show. It's a little different kind of astrology than the typical astrologer out there. But I've been bouncing around these planetary concepts now for about 37 years, and been doing it on the TV screen. We're coming up on 22 years on the television and on radio for 28, and I'm just so grateful for you. So I love your comments. Ring the bell, like, subscribe, and if you want to share it, on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, wherever you can share it, please do. I want to get out there. I want us all to be successful. Have a great day and a great week, and I'll be with you again next week on the next exciting adventure in the Planetary Persuader.